Hi everyone, this is Johnnyonoes and I'm playing Subnautica. This is the latest build from the Power Nap release. And this Let's Learn is going to be all about surviving your first day in Subnautica. So getting yourself some initial food, as well as your initial tools, and setting up a nice little small base to get you started. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some food. There's a feeder, which is a really good beginner food item. Sometimes they can be kind of hard to catch, but if they do their little dash, they tend to turn to the right and slow down. So I'm going to get three of these. Whoa. Got them. I'm also going to pick up 3 of these air sac fish. That is, if I don't drown. There we go. There's another 2 air sacs right here. So once I collect these, I can go right back to the lifeboat and make me some food and water. There we go, got them. You can easily find your lifeboat by the beacon. There's a little lifeboat symbol that heartbeats at you. So it's easy. It's makes it so that folks like me that has no sense direction can know where they're going. I basically have to beacon everything for me to be able to know where I'm going. So we're going to use our fabricator here that's in the lifeboat to cook some of the food. So we're going to cook these peepers. There's 3 of them. And then we're going to turn 2 of the air sacs into water. We're going to leave the last air sac for later. Next thing we want to do is we want to build ourselves an O2 tank, so we're not spending so much time having to go up to the surface. To build an O2 tank, all you have to do is get 2 quartz for the glass component, and then a little bit of scrap for the metal. There we go. Bring it on back, break down the scrap into titanium, and then build some glass with the quartz. There you go. Some titanium. And then here's some glass. Let's go ahead and eat that fish that I cooked earlier. There we go. And let's make the tank. So some people like to stack tanks. You can have more than 1 tank in your inventory, but I like to have only one so you swim a lot faster. It's debatable on what's better, but it's just kind of the way I play. It doesn't, for some reason, doesn't make sense for me immersion-wise to have like 2 tanks, one on your back, one in your backpack that's supposedly providing air to the other. So the next thing we need to do is we need to make some silicone. So to make silicone, we will pick up these creepvine seeds while avoiding a stalker, which is the friendly predator in the green biome area. Come on, let's get that last seed. Come on. There we go. Let's see how much room we have left. We got room for 3 more.
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
I think we're full now. There we go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make, I think, 4 silicone. 1 of them for a little air sac thing that you'll see, 2 of them for fins, and another one for a knife that we can make. Which reminds me, we need to get a little bit of titanium. It's alright, get it later. So we're just going to make 4 silicone. Just in the general components area. That's 2, 3, and 4. We're also going to make a little lubricant for a tool that we have to build later. So, clear all of our inventory out. It's really good to, oh, I can make something out of that, sorry. But it's really good to try to get what you need rather than just kind of collecting everything you can. because in the beginning of the game you have very limited inventory space. So we're going to make our fins using 2 silicone, and then we're going to make what's called an air bladder. This thing is going to allow us to surface super fast if we run out of air. So a cool trick with the air bladder is if you hit 1 on your toolbar and then hit right to deploy it, you can then holster the item by hitting F or the number that you have on your hotkey bar for it, and that way you don't have to keep redeploying it. So if I just hit 1, I don't have to deploy it. It's just already deployed, ready to take me up to the surface. Alright, so now we have our tank, we have our fins, we have our air sac thingy, and we have our knife. So the next thing we gotta do is we gotta build a scanner and the knife. So we need some titanium, so there we go. And we have our silicone ready for the knife, so we're good on the knife now. And we're going to go ahead and find us some copper to make a battery, which is what those acid mushrooms also provide. It's telling us to break this limestone. Come on, give us a copper. Oh yeah, nice. Alright, let's find our pod. Where'd it go? It's right over us. Stir. And now we can make a scanner for scanning fragments, which will unlock new technologies for us. Got the battery. Now we can make... Oh, we gotta break down the titanium here. So now we can make a scanner and a knife. Alright, so the last thing we need to make initially is a welder so we can fix our little life pod there, our escape pod. So what the scanner is used for is you can scan these little fragments, and if you scan enough of them, you'll then be able to build the item that it's a fragment of. So here's some titanium over here, another fragment on the right. So if this is a solar panel, oh, it's sea glide, perfect. So while we're looking for these fragments, we also need to look for some salt, because the next thing we need to make is a welder, which will, enable the gravity anchor for our escape pod. Which will keep it in place. Apparently, I'm not 100% sure it's right or not, but that's supposedly what the anchor is all about. If it works or not is debatable. Oh, we got double team there. Let's get some air real quick. Oh my god. Alright. So what you saw me do just now is there is a thing called a crash pod. And a crash pod, they live in these little caves here. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die from poison. And what they do is they'll spit out a fish that will then explode at you. If you survive the fish, you can go back and collect the crash powder that's there, and that's a component for the welder. Alright, looks like we got the 3 salt, and we got the crash powder. And I think that's all we need for the welder. So we're making some good time here. 9 minutes for like all the initial tools. I think we got the solar panels already. All we need now is the sea glide fragment. Gotta make the magnesium, which is what the 3 salt is for. And then we might make the welder. If what the game says is true, this should keep the escape pod stable and not moving away. In one of these that I tried to record, the escape pod basically moved so far away that there were there were reapers underneath it. So I quickly died and just doing this video again. No big deal. So now we need to start moving over to the red biome because we need some silver. The next things we need to build is a sea glide once we get the last fragment, hopefully we'll find it on the way over there. We need to get enough materials for the habitat tool, which will then allow us to build a base. Just getting my bearings here. So the red biome is basically if you're back and left of the aurora and do a 180, you're moving in the right direction. Let's pick up some titanium. See if we get some copper from this. Don't need lead right now. We got plenty of lead later. There's some more titanium over here. So here's the green biome right here. And if you keep going past the green biome, you'll get to the red biome. It's the red plains. If we got the sea glide, this would be much faster. You don't really need it. You can still dive deep enough and then be able to surface with the little air bladder. So we're going to need 1 silver for the habitat builder, and then another 3 silver for the fabricator we want to build for our new base. So we should be moving in the right direction. Let's take a look at the aurora again. Yep, we're doing okay. It's a little dark, so it's kind of hard to tell in the right direction, but it's kind of looking good. Yep. There are the sand sharks. Now we just gotta find some resource nodes. It looks like we got ourselves a fragment here. And we got a little guy biting us. Looks like a resource node, maybe. Nope. What about this one? Nope. Very hard to see in the dark. Some salt. That totally looks like one. Yes, got some silver.
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Let's go ahead and hit the surface, get some more air. So we just need 3 silver. Everything else is easy to get. Here we go, diving blindly again. That kind of looks like a resource node from what I can see, or it's just salt. Yep, it's salt. Oh man, it's really dark. I think I turned off. No, I got bloom still on. That looks like something. Alright, let's keep getting. Let's go back up to the surface again. This is very difficult without light of some sort. Maybe we'll just swim for a little while we wait for the sun to come back up. Maybe we'll run into the sea glide fragment. There's also a possibility of getting some silver from the green biome too. So if I see any nodes, be sure to pick it up. Let's see what this is. Maybe another mobile vehicle bay fragment. Alright, we're pretty hurt now, so we're gonna have to just head to the surface. Try our best to heal up. The escape pod comes with a replicator that makes medkits for you, which is a super nice addition. It used to be really tough to make your own medkits because you needed bleach, which means you had to go find more salt. And it's funny that salt's such a rare commodity in the ocean with salt water in it. But hey, what do you do? Okay, this may be our sea glide. Yes, it is. Very nice. Okay, that's going to make things a lot easier for us. Alright, the Sea Glide, let's see, we need 1 battery, 1 lubricant, copper wire, and titanium. So because of the battery and the copper wire, we need to get 2 more copper. The copper wire is 2 copper, and then the battery requires 1 copper. So a good place to look for early resources are these huge coral caves. Let's see if this is one of them. There's 1 copper. There's 2 copper. We didn't even have to go into the cave, but I'll show it to you anyways. So this coral here, and it's got this cool cave with all these resources in there. So it's a really, if you can find one of those, it's a really nice, you know, jump start to the amount of resources that you have. Let's go back and get healed, and then make us a Sea Glide, which will make things a lot faster. It's a little submersible that speeds you up quite a bit. Almost there. So there are multiple green biomes and red biomes. So don't get confused if you see like, oh wait, I see a green biome right there. Is that the same one? But no, there's a couple. There's also multiple of other biomes too. Like I think there are 2 blood vine biomes and 2 of the other type of biomes. I know there's multiple mushroom forests and all that stuff. So I don't want to get too much into the late stuff, but yeah, just don't get confused. It's really easy to get confused if you're like, oh, I thought that's where I was supposed to be. So I made the copper wire, but I did forget to pick up some mushrooms, which are right here. It's not a big deal. Alright, so let's pick those up and then make us a battery, and then we should be able to make a Sea Glide. Let's see how cool it is. I love the vehicles in this game. They're all really epic when you make it for some reason. The big submarine. Let's see, I'll make sure I got what I need here. So go to submersibles and Sea Glide. Like the big submarine, it gets created up in the air and you get to see it drop in the water. It's such a great game. Need this decomposing fish. Let's go ahead and break down this titanium just so I don't forget about it later. Right now, we've got a little bit of faster transportation here, which is nice. So I got all this, don't need this salt right now, or ever. And let's go ahead and this way. Now, some of the tools that you use are powered by batteries. So if this particular Sea Glide runs out of power, it means I have to replace the battery inside of it. There are battery rechargers now in the game, which was just added, and so that really makes things easy. So you don't have to keep making so many batteries, but at the same time, I don't want to waste the battery life on this thing too much, but I'm just using it to speed up the video. I don't like making cuts because it's so jarring, but I can if something takes too long. So just traveling back over to the red biome again. Let's see if we can snag a silver before we have to get some air.
Caution, 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
There's something there. Titanium. Great. Alright, so the way you find nodes in the red biome is you gotta swim above the grass and you look down on the different nodes and see them peeking out of the grass. Alright, this is what the Sea Glide's really good for, is getting you to the bottom of the ocean. Oh yeah, four nodes right there, so hopefully we get some silver out of them, rather than like a ton of gold, which is what silver is. You know, like you can either get silver or gold on these nodes called, I think they're called sandstone. Alright, got some more copper, which is nice. Let's see what this thing is. Battery charger fragment, nice. Alright, so swimming back up again to Find the node. Picked up lead. What bit us? Oh, it's one of those little guys. That one right there. You can hit them with your knife to take them out, but it doesn't seem necessary.
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
This game's more about exploration than killing stuff. Alright, let's see how much silver I've got. We got 3. Did I need 4? Yes, I did. I need 4. I'm sitting here doing this while I'm running out of air. Go, go, go.
Emergency. 10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Just one more silver, then we'll make it back. That will give us everything that we need to start up a new base. And then you'll be at a point where you can just start exploring, find more fragments, and maybe build a cool base later once you have more technology. Alright, there's 3 nodes, 4 nodes. Silver, we're out of here. Let's get away from these guys. Alright, let's go back to our escape pod. And along the way, we got a ton of titanium, so along the way we're going to look for some quartz, because we need some more of that to be able to get a tank going. Now, once you build a base, you can build different appliances in it, so we're going to make our own fabricator in there, and we're going to make a tank, a fish tank, so that we can put fish in there so they start to reproduce. So our food will make food for us. That'll be nice. That way we don't have to go out and get any more food. More quartz. Any quartz? Any quartz? Any quartz? This guy's almost out of juice. Alright. So for the habitat builder, we need to get a new material that we haven't seen yet, and that is what's called table coral. And you can see it right here. They're in different colors, but the ones that are in the shallows when you first start out are red. You only need 2 of them. And you also need quartz for a. Alright, got one. So the habitat builder requires a computer chip, which is a more advanced component than what we've been working with so far. So it requires 2 table coral, silver ore, and quartz. You know what, I actually did need that table core because I need to make 2 computer chips. Because I like before I make a base, I like to have the components ready to make a fabricator for your new base. So I did need those table coral. Let's see if I have any copper. I only have 1 copper. The other thing you want to make while you're making your base is you want to make a beacon, because it's really easy to just plop down a base, but then you realize that you can't find it ever again. But having a beacon allows you to be able to backtrack to it. So let's see what we got. We got lots of titanium. We need 1 more copper, so let's get that now to make a beacon. Let's see if we can find that big coral tube again. Oh, and these are some of the places you can find quartz, but you gotta be really careful not to run into any of those crash pods, or get so deep that you can't get back out. But that was nice. Alright, is this anything new? Nope. So we definitely need some quartz for the solar panels that we want to build. And we also need some glass for the initial hatch. So really all you have to build for your first base is maybe 2 or 3 rooms if you're so inclined, a hatch, a tank, and a fabricator, and then maybe some storage. Once you got that, you're ready to start exploring. Not having an easy time finding any copper, though. Hello, copper, where are you? Is this copper? Copper, yes. Nice. Okay, let's head back. There's a real benefit of having your own little base is then you kind of have all the room you want to store stuff. So you can build lockers, you can build these cool little lockers that go on the wall. Let's see, what else can you... I think those are the only containers you got, but you have more control over, you know, how much space you got and where you put it. And so for OCD people like me, it's really nice to be able to organize things. I even made a video of how I organize my resources when I'm near the end game, if you're interested in watching it. Alright, let's break down this titanium. And then we're going to build some copper wire so that we can make our beacon. Oh, I thought I had 2 copper. What? No! Where'd the copper go? Oh well, that's too bad. Oh, I already have it. Dirt. Okay, there's our beacon. And now we got everything we need to get started. So let's equip, or at least put this tool. Aha! That's what we're missing. We're missing the actual tool to make the habitat with. So to make that, I need a battery, which needs copper. Oh gosh. Let's see. Alright. We don't have enough space right now. I've been thinking too far ahead here. We can make some room by drinking this water. That's plenty. That's what we need. We just need 1 copper and 2 mushrooms. Let's see, is this going anywhere interesting other than having a crash pod right there? There we go. These things are great. Let's see. Solar panel, we already got that. Come on, copper. Gotta find that big tube of coral again. My sense of direction is so bad. I need beacons for everything. Let's go over to these rock formations. More of a chance of there being metal on there. There we go, there's a node. Come on, copper!
Local radiation readings exhibit characteristics consistent with total degradation of the Aurora's dark matter drive core. A quantum detonation.
There we go. Here's the tube. Definitely going to get a copper. And we're definitely going to drown if I don't get out of here.
Emergency. 10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Alright, we got our copper, we got our 2 mushrooms, so now we can go make the tool. And then we can finish up once we have built out the initial base. You can start, you know, scavenging everything, bring it back, and if you need more room, you just build another locker, and you keep going deeper and deeper until you find more fragments. And yeah, get you started. Alright, you got yourself a battery, and now let's make the habitat builder. So we should have all the components already for a... So you just select the habitat builder. Now you can look at all the stuff you can build for a base. So fabricator's already done. Yay for planning. Execution. Alright, and let's pick a good spot to throw down our base. I'd like it to be closer to those other other biomes that were over this way. My escape pod tends to be closer, actually further away from the Aurora than where this one started. I also like being next to the green biomes because if you eventually get the bioreactor, you can use the creep vine to fuel them. So if you wanted to go a little deeper, so deep that the solar panels don't work anymore, you can still fuel your stuff with some plant matter. Looks like a cool little perch to start off on. Yeah, let's do that right there. So you just pull out your habitat builder. You start off with a foundation. The game's been freezing up every time I put a foundation down. Not sure what that's all about. Okay, then we're going to build an initial room. I probably didn't make glass, did I? No, I didn't make glass. Alright, let's put a beacon down. Just want to build that initial first room.
10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
As well as a hatch, but I forgot the glass, so I'm going to have to go back, but at least you can see me build a multi-purpose room on this side. Alright, now let's scan this thing if we need it. See, there's the bioreactor fragment I was telling you about earlier. And let's go back one last time. Because now that we have a fabricator in the base here, we'll be able to just not have to go to the escape pod every time we need to build something. Wow, that's a minefield. Look at that. Apparently now you can pick these up before they explode, and you can use them for make torpedoes for the little submarine. Like gas tornadoes, or torpedoes, gas torpedoes. Right, we're kind of almost wrapping up here. We're at 31 minutes, so I'm going to try to finish up as quick as possible. Don't like going too far over half an hour. I'm going to make some glass. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to build the hatch and then build the fabricator. And then maybe if we have enough time, I will then, yeah, we need a lot more quartz for that. So let's look for quartz as we go back. So I'd love to make another room and show you how the tank works. Because you have to build the tank and you have to build a hatch for the tank, so it can be a little confusing. So we got our beacon, tells us where our little base is. There's another quartz. So the way the tanks work is if you put two of one type of fish in the tank together, they'll eventually reproduce. So if you are looking to get more food, we can put some peepers in there. If you need more water, you can put some air sacs in there. See how much inventory space we have. Let's get these two air sacs. So as long as you don't eat past 2, or like if you don't go lower than 2, you'll have reproduction going on, and your food will be making food for you. So I got 2 of each. No, I don't. Just kidding. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Gotcha. All right, and we don't want to go to that heat signature just yet. Where is our? There we go. I was going the wrong way, of course. Speed this up. A little sea glide action. This little guy's almost out of power. Not a big deal. Here's our little base. Alright. Make the hatch on the side. Just attaches just like that.
10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Let's get some air, and then we'll build the solar panels. I always like to put like 3 or 2 or 4, depends on how much you're doing. Every time you use the fabricator, it's going to take some power.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
Okay. So now we can add another room. Just like so. There we go. Gonna get
Emergency.
bit in the ass.
Seismic readings suggest a quantum detonation has occurred in the Aurora's drive core. The central dark matter reactor will
Welcome
reach a
aboard,
supercritical
Captain.
state in T minus
Alright.
10.
Looks like the Aurora's gonna explode, so let's
7,
get out of dodge here.
5, 4, 3,
Had a rock. It's too cool though. Look at that. So I'm just hoping to find some titanium here. Whoa! Oh, we got titanium! Go, go, go! Let's get out of here! That way I can make a fabricator. Just a little too premature with my building. See if we can make that fabricator now. Oh, I need 2! No, I don't want to go all the way back. Is this a node? Come on, titanium. Oh, too bad. Oh, we got tons of nodes. Oh, we're right next to this huge pipe. That's perfect. That is if I die. Oh, that means we lost a bunch of stuff too. Oh, not too much. Still have that 1 titanium. I wonder if your character saves every time he goes to the base. But now we spawn here, which is pretty cool. It's me just trying to speed things up and not try to avoid these sharks. Alright, there's our titanium. Hope I don't lose anything else important. Alright, we got our fabricator now. And let's see what we got. We can break down this titanium and then we can finish up that room. And then we'll try to make as much glass as we can. I think we need 4 for the tank, and we need 1 glass for the hatch. Yeah, I think that's all we were gonna get. It was 3 glass worth. Take notice of the text in the top left. Your bases have like a structural integrity limit to it, so try not to overbuild too much, because if you do, you're going to run into a situation where the base will start to leak and break. So try to keep your hull strength above 0. Because if you don't, you're going to lose that base. Well, you're not going to lose the base, just it's going to be flooded. Nothing's going to work. So don't overbuild, because everything you build, like a corridor, another room, it's basically going to lower the hull strength of your base. You noticed each of the solar panels have given me about 50 power worth of power. So if you build more solar panels, you'll at least have more maximum power, so you can do it that way too. Alright, so we've got 5 glass, just what we need. I wonder if we lost the fish. Nope, we didn't lose the fish. Cool. So burst and dying like that. What a pleb. Okay, so we can build our alien containment. And then a hatch for it. We jump inside, and then you right-click your fish to release them. And I think 1 tank can hold 6. So you're kind of looking at 1 extra of each fish. So it'll keep making it for you. The cool thing is if you, and I'm not going to do this in this video, but if you wanted to, you can actually add another floor to that building like this and build another alien containment field on top of it, and it will connect, so you can have up to 12 fish in 1 tank. But alright, so we got a little base, we have all the initial tools, you got a fabricator, you can start making stuff. So there we go. That's how you survive your first couple of days in Subnautica. At this point in the game, now you're just going out and adventuring, finding new fragments, finding new technologies and resources, and continuing to enjoy the game. So hopefully this was useful for the folks that haven't played the game before. You can see all the cool crafting, all the different resources you have to pick up, all the different flora you have to deal with. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. This is Johnnyonoes playing Subnautica. Thanks so much for watching.